Hi everybody, and welcome back to Kevin's Upfront opinion today. So, today I thought I'd speak about, and this is something I have first-hand knowledge of, the dangers and problems of single parenting. Now, I appreciate sometimes it's got to be done. Okay, maybe because of breakup of a relationship, maybe they can't be bothered. They don't want to know. Maybe they've had problems with substance abuse or criminality or whatever it is. I'm not going to go down that road, okay? But there may be a reason why there's no option. And when it comes to that, I can't say anything. You know, you're going to make me shut up and I might as well stop recording. But this is where the problem is. There's far too many cases in the UK where there's single parenting and there's no real need for it. And I've always been a firm believer of co-parenting. If I look at my own personal childhood, and it was a classic case of that. My parents split up and divorced when I was about 2 or 3 years old, something like that. Never got to the honest truth of what happened, because both of them, even though they're both alive, they don't watch this video, lied through their teeth my entire life. Now, I'm 46, I'm 47 on the 3rd of August. Okay, so I would appreciate any birthday cards or birthday wishes people send me in August. I would be very grateful. I don't get many of them nowadays. Okay, but my entire life, both my mother and father have lied through their teeth to me about what truly really happened. And to be honest, at this stage of my life, I don't really care what happened. It was over 40 years ago. But like I said, I am a firm believer in co-parenting wherever it is physically possible. And the reason is, it's much better for the child. Not only for their personal well-being, not only so that they know what their background is and where they actually come from, but they got a much better chance succeeding in life. Because the statistics back it up at the end of the day. Because statistically, if you come from a single parenting family, the odds on you are not going to make it in life. You're probably going to end up either going down the route of addiction, criminality, living your life on benefits. You know, it's not me making it up. That's the statistics at the end of the day. Now, there are always going to be people that are going to be able to break through and prove that they're going to be different. And there are always going to be cases of that. Okay. And for me, I always hope every child can succeed. When I look at my own children, I hope that they succeed in their lives far more than I have. Okay, and that's because obviously I've had my challenges myself. I never had the best upbringing. Like I said, my father was an alcoholic. His preference was the bottom of the bottle, or pint glass, whatever the truth may be, because that's something he's never been able to be truthfully honest with me about. If I was to listen to my mother, she would say that he was aggressive and abusive towards her. Now, if I look on the other side of the coin, with my mother put as much distance as humanly possible that she could between me and my sister and my father. Did she have a good reason to do it? I would say so, looking back on it. She probably was right to do it. this is where the problem is. As a child, you don't understand that. And you resent it. And you resent it all your life until one day you may wake up and realise why your parent actually did it, or your parents actually did it. Did my mother do it for my own well-being? I would suggest probably not. I would suggest she did it for herself. Because a lot of the time, it boils down to egos and control. And trying to get one over on the other parent, which is always sad. And that's not something I like to look at. You know, most people say, but I have an ego, and to a degree, they're probably right. You know, but I've worked in the sales industry, especially home improvements, for a long time. So yeah, I have had an ego. But one of the problems is a lot of parents don't think about one thing. And this is the one thing every parent, if they've separated for whatever reason, should think about first of all. And that's the kids. And that's the one thing most parents don't think about. And I can name countless of parents that have gone down this road. The one thing they never think about is the children. And the only people that ever suffer, and I know I'm going to get loads of hate for this, is the kids. Because they get physically, well, not so much physically, but especially emotionally scarred. I know when I look at myself, okay, I remember going through, especially juniors or middle school as it used to be called back then, whenever the equivalent of Ofsted would come in to grade the teacher, or the standing teacher would come in, I'd always be looking at that person. If it was a man, thinking, is that my father? Because I couldn't even remember what my father looked like. You know, so one of the things I'm always going to say is, forget about yourself, do what's right, do what's the best thing, even if you absolutely despise your partner. You've got to do what's best for the child at the end of the day. And you might not like doing it. You know, I remember, I personally remember one of the early days when I was with my partner. I still remember this. I can't believe it even happened. Because obviously the eldest, it's not my child, it's my stepdaughter. She's 24 now, lovely girl. And her dad came round, as much as she may not like to admit that. And we were at one of our old houses, and I think they were playing like Monopoly or something downstairs, and I would always separate myself, and I'd just sat upstairs doing whatever, watching TV, or might have been on a laptop or something. And they ordered Domino's. It was a Sunday afternoon, and they ordered Domino's for lunch. And it arrived, so stepdaughter goes to the front door, the dad follows her, if I remember rightly. He pays for the pizza, and I shouldn't even laugh about it. My stepdaughter turns to my what is now my wife and says, "Do you want to go and tell Dad?" Or no, sorry. "Do you want to go and take some pizza up to Dad?" And I thought, oh no, that's really going to go down well. But for him, he's only got himself to blame, because he never bothered with his daughter. And that's the classic case of when it becomes a shame, of when things like co-parenting should work, one particular parent just can't be bothered, to be honest. Okay, so Let me know what you think. Do you think co-parenting is something that should be pushed a lot more? And if it did, it would give kids a lot more of a chance. Or do you think I'm just completely wrong? So let us know in the comments down below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again a bit later.